Cognitive Science Qigong, Part 1, Introduction and Story. Introduction. Thank you for picking up this book. I run a Qigong practice built on neuroscience and cognitive science, free from religious doctrine, guiding people toward self-realization and their deepest dreams. What this book is for? This book exists for one reason: to help you unlock the abilities you were always born with, and use them to build a life where every dream becomes real. Qigong is not widely understood in the West. Most people think of it as a gentle health exercise for older adults, but that is only the surface. Qigong, when practiced with intention and understanding, becomes something far more powerful, a tool for sharpening your mind, solving complex problems, attracting financial abundance, and drawing your ideal partner into your life. I wrote this book because I believe you deserve access to that power. Even if you have never tried Qigong before, you will find simple, highly effective practices here that allow you to feel and direct Qi almost immediately. How Qigong changed my life. I want to be honest with you. I did not come to Qigong through spiritual seeking. I came through a cello. Fresh out of university, newly employed, I was obsessed with becoming a better musician. One late night of internet searching led me to a blog post from someone who claimed Qigong had dramatically improved their flute playing. I thought, if it works for flute, it might work for cello. That was enough to make me try. As I researched further, I discovered that beyond the traditional, spiritually rooted schools of Qigong, there existed a lineage that analyzed the practice through the lens of neuroscience and psychology. As someone with a science background who needed to understand the mechanism behind everything, this was the school for me. The very first thing I learned stopped me in my tracks. The reality you experience is constructed by your brain. This world, everything you see, feel, and believe about yourself is a kind of sophisticated simulation built by your nervous system. Change the simulation, and you change your life. With that idea as my foundation, I began asking myself, what do I actually want? The answer was simple. I wanted freedom, the freedom to play music, and the financial independence to support it. So I began the practice. Every day, I worked with something called the energy ball, a visualization technique where you form a sphere of Qi between your hands, fill it with an image of your ideal self, and absorb it into your body. It sounds unusual. It works anyway. A few months in, I had the sudden urge to start a blog about my Qigong training and my life as a musician. I did. People found it. They started writing to me, asking if I could teach them. Before I had fully realized what was happening, I had clients. I had income. I had freedom. For months after beginning Qigong, my first dream had come true. Cognitive Science Qigong. Part 2, The Science and Practice. What is Qigong really? Here is how the author defines it. Qigong is the rewriting of your internal representation through synesthetic experience. Let me unpack that. In cognitive science, internal representation refers to the total picture of reality that your brain constructs from sensory input, memory, and belief. You do not experience the world directly. You experience your brain's interpretation of it. That interpretation is your internal representation. When you change your internal representation, your reality changes with it. Most self-development tools work through language, affirmations, journaling, therapy. These are linguistic rewrites of internal representation. They work, but slowly. Qigong works differently. It uses synesthetic sensation, translating information directly into physical feeling. When you sense warmth in your palms, or a tingling in your fingertips, or a subtle pressure between your hands, that is information becoming sensation. That is Qi. And because the experience is deeply physical and immediate, it rewires the brain faster and more completely than words alone. How to feel Qi, your first practice. Sit comfortably. Overlap your hands gently in your lap, not pressed together like prayer, but slightly offset at a 45-degree angle. Let your shoulders drop. Let your arms rest. Now, simply direct your attention to your right palm. Feel the warmth there. You have always had warmth in your hand, but until this moment, it lived below the threshold of your awareness. Now that you have looked, It rises to meet you. Hold that awareness for a few breaths, then shift it to your left palm. Notice how the warmth moves with your attention. Move slowly back and forth, right, then left, then right again, 3 or 4 times. This gentle migration of awareness is the flow of Qi. You are not imagining it. You are practicing the foundational skill of Qigong, the energy ball, your tool for making dreams real. Once you can feel Qi in your hands, you are ready to work with it. Separate your hands to about shoulder width, palms facing each other. Imagine Qi flowing from one hand toward the other. You will likely feel warmth or a soft tingling in the receiving hand. This is Qi in motion. Now, slowly bring your hands toward each other and begin to gather that Qi into a sphere, soft and formless at first, like holding a cloud. That is your energy ball. Here is where the transformation begins. Into that ball, pour an image of your ideal self. Not a vague wish, a vivid, living picture. See yourself as the person you are becoming, confident, abundant, vibrant, free. Let that version of you exist fully inside the sphere you are holding. Then absorb it. Press it gently into your chest, your stomach, your whole body. Let it dissolve into you. Gives continued in part 3. Cognitive Science Qigong, Part 3, The Deeper Purpose. The Energy Ball, continued. Do this once in the morning and once at night. Within 3 to 6 months, you will notice your life beginning to reorganize itself around that image. This is not magic. It is the brain doing what the brain does, moving toward whatever image it holds most vividly and most often. Qigong simply makes that image felt, not just thought. And what is felt changes us far more deeply than what is merely thought. The path beyond desire. The author wants to close with something that surprised even him. Qigong works. It works for money, for beauty, for health, for relationships. If you practice sincerely, most of what you currently long for will come to you within a few years. And then something unexpected happens. Once the deepest hungers are fed, a quieter question emerges. What am I actually here for? This is not a crisis. It is an awakening. As your perception expands through Qigong practice, the boundary between you and the world around you, the people, the trees, the animals, the stranger on the street, begins to soften. You start to feel that they're flourishing and yours are not separate things. At that point, fulfillment is no longer about acquiring. It becomes about contributing. The author's mission today is this: to heal people, and through people, to heal the world. That is where this path leads, and it is where you are heading to. Start with the energy ball tonight. Your journey begins there. The author,